Warm welcome, Shri Ghosh. First, my thanks to CEEW for the opportunity to speak today at this conference. It is such a privilege, and I would also like to pass on the sincere apologies of our Director General, Mr. Upendra Tripathi, who has been unavailable to attend today, but I know he's been very disappointed in his absence. I understand that this morning has already been absolutely fascinating. My colleagues here have been giving me the most gushing readouts, and we at the International Solar Alliance have welcomed the focus on the SDGs, noting our particular emphasis on achieving SDG 7 and SDG 13. I was most interested to hear the themes for the future described just before by my distinguished colleague, Mr. Dhawan, the focus on agriculture, rooftop storage and finance in the solar fields. And as Mr. Ghosh has just described, this for us is at the heart of our work at the International Solar Alliance. These are the key themes that we've identified as the programs for members to focus on in this global energy transition. For those of you not familiar with the ISA, and given the introduction already, we are focused on the deployment and the use of solar energy in a safe, convenient, affordable, equitable and sustainable manner. And we're focused on actions to implement these. We are an action-orientated organisation. In that theme and with that focus, today I'll be talking about the solutions that we see as the key to securing a global energy transition using, given our focus, solar energy. We do have a global membership, and we are hoping that this will expand even further. Our aim is to secure 100 members by the second assembly later this year. And we see this as an integral part of ensuring that solar energy is a key means to achieving the aspiration of universal energy access by 2025. So, with this in mind, how is it that we support our members in this endeavour, this global goal of achieving universal energy access? We have a fairly unique business model, and we facilitate the implementation of solar projects in member countries. We are neither a direct funder nor an implementer of solar projects, but what we see our value add, and our fairly unique value add, is as a facilitator and as an incubator, supporting critical projects, working to remove barriers to the increased uptake of solar energy. In the past 2 years of our operationalisation, we've taken up 4 really key roles to support our members in this regard. The first is as an enabler, as an organisation that supports our members in developing their capacity to implement solar. We've institutionalised fellowships for member countries from IIT Delhi. We've trained over 200 master trainers from ISA member countries, and we'll be shortly launching our capacity building programs through the Solar Technology Application and Research Centres, the STAR-C programs, a global network of research and training institutions, the Infopedia, which will launch at the second assembly of the ISA, a Wikipedia for solar, to ensure that knowledge of solar projects, of solar technology, and of the solar market is not limited to a select few, but is something that is shared and made common to all. Our second role has been that of a facilitator. We understand, as Mr. Dhawan previously mentioned, that solar is an expensive undertaking. And whilst the costs have been coming down, it is still an expense to invest and to implement solar projects. We've supported the arranging of lines of credit worth $2 billion from the Exim Bank of India and 1.5 billion euros from AFD in France. We've ensured that MDBs invest in solar, and we've provided critical project pre-feasibility support to ensure that countries are supported in getting projects off the ground, in being able to make those key applications for funding. Our third role has been of an incubator. We've nurtured initiatives such as the Solar Risk Mitigation Initiative, now taken on by the World Bank and the AFD, on behalf of our members. And our final role has been that of an accelerator. As Mr. Ghosh has spoken about, we see our role as facilitating a global buyers market. And to this end, we've aggregated demand for 1,000 megawatts of solar generation and over 270,000 solar water pumps. We've generated a project pipeline of $5 billion. The market is there, and it is there for solar energy. There are two initiatives, two of the innovative approaches that I would like to really highlight today as an example of the value add of the International Solar Alliance and where we have seen our role in supporting this global transition for energy. The first has been, as I've already alluded to, the development of the Solar Risk Mitigation Initiative by the AFD and the World Bank. And this has been something that I think, hopefully, what we hope, it will be a model for future activities in supporting the scaling up of solar energy deployment. This will be an integrated approach to tackling the policy, technical and financial issues associated with projects. It has three main components: supporting and developing an enabling policy environment in targeted countries to ensure that there is not only a political will, but a supportive regulatory environment for companies and for others to invest in solar. Supporting the procurement of bankable projects, and most importantly, ensuring that access to risk mitigation coverage to reduce the risk of private investment, to help bring solar parity, to ensure that solar is an investment worth making, and to help really bring down the costs of finance. The other initiative I'd like to highlight today is the Lome initiative. And this initiative is a response to the call made at our founding summit for the establishment of harmonised regulatory frameworks to leverage investments in projects that promote solar energy. And in response to this call, in Lome, in August last year, an initial group of 6 pilot countries launched an initiative to accelerate the implementation of optimal collective regulatory obligations to facilitate the aggregation and processing of funding requirements. We're very fortunate that AFD, on behalf of ISA and on behalf of the French government, is supporting countries to develop and to analyse the modalities to establish this collective regulatory and contractual framework for these 6 countries. Whilst this is technically still a work in progress, I draw this to your attention as an opportunity to consider how we, in this globalised world, can work together to ensure that we are creating the optimal conditions for the investment in renewable energy. This has just been a very short snapshot of our work, but I trust it's provided food for thought on the future of solar energy and its place in the global energy transition. Thank you for your energy today, pun intended, and your enthusiasm this afternoon. The International Solar Alliance has been most appreciative of the opportunity to be involved today, and our relationship with CEEW more generally. And we look forward to hearing what more comes out of the discussions today and tomorrow. I have no doubt that they will be incredibly fruitful. And I know that together we can make the sun shine brighter. Thank you very much.